Okay, shall we get going?
Let's do this.
All right, starting in five, four, three, two, one. Welcome to the RPG After Years, your weekly show covering all things RPGs from the past, present, and future. This is episode 80. I'm Scott,
And I'm Rich.
and today we're going to be covering all the latest and greatest RPG related news, including all that sick stuff that was revealed at the PlayStation Showcase. We're going to be talking like God of War, Spider Man 2, Wolverine, all that shit. It's going to be a good episode, so let's
Yeah.
get to it. Before all that, let's catch up. Rich, why don't you kick us off today?
Yeah. Okay. So here is my awesome list. And you're going to see a theme here. Okay.
I'm looking at it, yeah.
So let's just kick off the one thing I don't have on here. I forgot. I deleted it and I forgot to put it back on. Destiny 2.
Oh, okay. What's
Yeah.
going on in Destiny 2?
Season of the Lost. As the name implies, I'm lost. Um, Basically, just for all you people out there who play Destiny, if you take a 6-month break, maybe longer, and you come back and there's all these new seasons, you will be lost in the story.
Hmm.
So good thing
So
you can go
sorry.
back and play stuff. But yeah, sure. It's fun. It's still Destiny. It's not, if you take a break to it and then come back and it's kind of like playing a whole new game. So that's a plus. I know, isn't Dizzy still playing
Oh, yeah, of
Destiny
course.
stuff? Okay. Need to catch up with his streams and stuff in a while. I haven't talked to
I
him.
haven't been in been watching other Twitch streamers as much here just in the past couple of weeks. Just have too much to do. But
Yeah.
so I'm a little lost on the Destiny front myself.
Yeah, I need to check it out. I mean, the only stream I really look is yours. So
It's the best one. So,
I know, I know. It's got a
um,
great community out there. That's what I say. The Scott spot does have some good people.
but it doesn't matter because even when I do watch Destiny, I have no idea what I'm looking at other than shooty pew pews.
Well, yeah, and then you get treasure.
Yeah,
That's always
loot.
fun. Yeah, loot boxes and things,
What
and you
else?
yell at people. So here's the theme: Tales of Arise, Tales of Fantasia, and Tales of Zestria.
How? Why are you playing three Tales games?
I don't know. I decided to do this because I was playing Tales of Arise, which, by the way, is amazing.
I
I
was going to ask
highly
about it.
recommend that.
So you really like it?
Yeah, I do. It's got a good story. Um, oddly enough, Prince Noctis is in this. Did you know
What?
that? Yeah.
Oh, you mean Ray Chase?
Yeah, he's in there. Because the whole like the very first time, like the main character, you meet him, his name is Iron Mask. So I won't spoil anything. Well, yeah. For you at least, I'm sure you'll figure it out. He starts talking. I'm like, that sounds familiar. And he keeps talking, and some scenes go through, and he gets really intense, and he screams. I'm like, hey, that's Prince Noctis.
Yeah.
So I had to look it up, and I even asked in the chat group for the Discord. I'm like, is Ray Chase in this? And somebody was like, yeah, he is. I'm
I
like,
mean, a
oh,
bunch of those voice actors that were in 15 went on to do a lot of other stuff. They've,
yeah. And I even think one of them, Prompto, is in Zestria. I think he's the main voice guy in Zestria.
yeah, his voice actors all over the place. So,
Yeah. But they're well known, so I mean that's good. I like seeing the same voice actors. I kind of wish they kind of venture out a little bit with some other people to do some voices.
this is a totally random, but I'm starting to get tired of Troy Baker. Like,
What?
yes, he's very, very talented, but I can always pick his voice out now. I feel like, and it's just like it kind of takes me out of it.
That's sacrilege that
Like
you're
I'm playing
speaking.
Resident Evil 6 right now, and Jake Wesker's son is voiced by um,
Yeah.
Ray or Troy Baker. It might as well be Snow. They use the same voice for both of those characters, so
Yeah. I think he hasn't done much lately though, has he?
I think he's. I don't know. I still feel like he's the most prolific voice actor out there.
Yeah, I mean, because he's just good at it.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen him much. No, so then
Um, I know our old buddy Jay said in the Discord that he thinks Tales of Arise is like Berseria, but better gameplay.
yeah, it's
So,
got some pretty good gameplay to it. I really enjoy that. Um, the next game, Tales of Fantasia.
did you start this or have you been playing
I've
it?
been playing it a little bit, not too much.
Because
I
I
played a
know
little bit
the
before I go
last
to
couple
bed.
times we did a check in, you listed some other Tales games, and I'm starting to get kind of confused with
Yes,
your Tales playing.
I just all over the place. No, so
Yeah,
I'm just mainly focused on these three. So that's what's going to happen. Tales of Fantasia, because it's on my Game Boy Advance. It's something I just play for an hour or so while I'm on the couch or something, laying in bed. Um,
do you have a Game Boy Advance?
mhm, yeah,
Is
SP.
it?
I have a SP
Oh
version.
man, you lucky son of a bitch.
I know, right?
I only have the original, and I don't even know if I still have that or if it works or what.
I'm thinking about finding a DS, the original one that can play the Game Boy Advance games
Oh,
as
I still
well.
have
So
mine, I think. So
yeah,
if
so
I
you
guess if I
still
was playing it,
technically,
yeah.
yeah.
uh,
Then the final game is Tales of Zestria
which
on my
system is that one
laptop.
on?
This is on my laptop.
Okay, all right,
So like I booted that up. I've been trying to play my laptop more. That's just when I feel like it. This is at night during the week. So
gotcha.
just three
So let me
games.
ask you this: when you're playing these three Tales games at once, do you get like
Mm.
confused, or which story and which characters, what's going on in which one, all that?
No, each one does have its own theme to it, as far as I can tell. Right now in Fantasia, it's one of the earlier games. That one's got a theme so far of getting sent back in time and to stop an evil guy that is basically the destroyer. So far in Zestria, you are the shepherd and you're supposed to rid the world of evil. So that's not of a guy, but it's a different so far. And then Tales of Arise, that one is just right now you're going after the lords and trying to free the people that have been enslaved. The Danans are enslaved by the I'm blanking on the name of the people that's over the overlords now, but so there's that. So there's different themes to it. So I'm keeping them separate.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm
Well, it
trying to
sounds
play
like
the
you're
Scott approach. Play
well,
multiple games.
and here I am. I've never even played a Tales game,
But
although
I'm just you're killing me,
maybe
Smalls.
maybe that'll change soon.
You need to.
As for me, I think I said this last time we did this, but I did beat FF2, and now I have started. Do you remember me telling you that last time or not?
I don't think so, but you better blow your horn.
Okay, just in case.
Yeah.
um, so eventually, Bill and I will do a review of that probably within the next couple months, I would think. I liked it overall. It ended up being bonus dungeon the game for me because I think it was like a 50 something hour save file or something. I can guarantee you probably about five or so of those was for the main story stuff. But I liked it overall a lot more than FF1 actually. And now I'm playing the bonus campaign, Soul of Rebirth, where you play as all the characters that died during the main story, defeating the Emperor in Hell and all that.
Oh,
Um, it's supposed to only be like a couple few hours, but I ended up having to do some grinding, so I'm actually going to be playing that on my channel after this.
some
So,
bump and grind stuff.
yep, had to do some grinding. Uh, I also, I think I haven't said this yet either. I also beat Live Alive. Um, I will say that's another game Bill and I will review soon, but we'll probably review that sooner than FF2, I would think. The game varies in quality quite a bit from scenario to scenario. So I think overall it's a good game, but I think it was a little overhyped by some certain people in the community for me. Um, but the way it does comes all together at the end is pretty cool. Like ties together.
Mhm.
Jeez, we must have not done this in a while. I also beat Metroid Zero Mission, which, to be fair, is a shorter game. Um, Not my favorite 2D Metroid, but still, it's Metroid. I love Metroid. It was a really good game, and I guess I would probably put that like, I guess it's probably my least favorite 2D Metroid that I finished. That, like I said, though, it's still great. Have you ever played a Metroid?
I have not.
You should. Um,
All right.
well, you've got some bigger fish to fry, I guess.
A little bit, but it could be on my list.
Yeah, especially with Dread coming out. But
Yeah.
Corey's still playing Paper Mario Color Splash. We're well into like he only has like one big paint star left to get, and he's already a few stages into that section of the game. It's pretty enjoyable. I say this every time we talk about it, but it's not as good as the old Paper Mario's, but it's not a bad game by any means. Still playing Pokemon Sword. I finished the Crown Tundra DLC, and so now I'm just like wrapping up some post game side questy type stuff.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
already done with that.
well, I've been streaming Pokemon Sword basically since I started streaming, and I'm still streaming it. So there's a lot to the game, like no shortage of content. I guess how I could see people that complained about there not being enough to do in the game before the DLC came out. I could see that being a valid complaint, but with the DLC, it just feels like it never ends.
Yeah, but here
Uh,
soon though, the new Pokemon game comes out.
the Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl.
Hmm.
Are you
And I
gonna play
bet she'll.
that?
Yeah, I bet she'll stream that.
I don't. I'm not interested. It. I think it looks bad. I don't
Oh,
like.
okay then.
Yes. I could go on a whole tantrum about not
Fair
tantrum,
enough.
tangent. Uh, but it looks like the most bare minimum effort remake they could have done.
Well, it's
And I'm excited
Nintendo. They
about,
don't have to. They don't have to put much effort into it. They're just like, you know what? They'll buy it. We can just give
especially
crap.
Pokemon. Yeah. I am really excited for Legends Arceus though. I've already pre-ordered that one. Um, and I've decided I'm going to complete my Pokédex in Sword and Shield. So
Ooh,
that's going to be a pain in the ass. I've been
I've
trying
never
to.
done that,
Yeah,
and I won't.
I can't remember if I did it in Red and Blue or not, but if I ever did, it was there. I want to say I probably didn't though. I don't know. We're still playing Resident Evil 6. We're very, very close on beating that. We finished Ada Chapter 3 last night. So we got only a couple more chapters left, and then
Nice.
we can finally move on to RE7.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm
And then
excited.
you can play 8 because I've been way done with that game.
Yeah, I'm excited because I don't know much about either game other than what I've heard through the grapevine. I've never even played 7 or 8, so uh,
7's good.
6 was such a hurdle to get over. Like it just slogging through it the whole time.
Yeah, I have opinions on that. So
Yeah.
of that game.
You're gonna need to finish some Resident Evil games too, so we can do those reviews.
Oh man, I haven't played any. I did. I finished Resident Evil game. What are you talking about? Resident Evil 8. I'm
Yeah,
just kidding. I know.
I'm
I
just
know.
gonna have to do those without you. Uh, Still been playing Days Gone. That game's funner than you'd think it is. And finally, I started up Subnautica Below Zero a couple days ago, which is obviously the sequel to Subnautica, and I'm loving it so far. I love
It's all
the
wintry,
first.
right?
Yeah, it's in like the Arctic. So, except for the graphics are improved. I wasn't expecting that because the game originally started as an expansion to the first one, so I'm
Yeah.
expecting similar graphics. But no, it's a lot prettier. It actually pushed my PC.
Ooh.
Yeah,
You have a
and
fancy PC too.
yeah. Well, it forced me to switch from Streamlabs OBS to OBS finally, like kind of like what we were talking about the other day,
Oh,
because
okay.
Streamlabs OBS is basically like running a second game on your computer with the amount of resources it hogs. So finally made that switch. But yeah, I was playing streaming Below Zero, and all of a sudden, before I knew it, like 5.5 hours had gone by. And I was like, man, I don't want to
Ooh.
stop. It's so fun. I love this game. I would. It's not for everybody, but it tickles all my funny bones. The And then they've got a lot of quality of life improvements too, like stuff that was kind of annoying about the first one is fixed. So
That's good.
highly recommend people to check out these Subnautica games. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. Not a lot at all, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah. Um. So moving on, just some updates on the show. Those that people will know that we ran this campaign for JRPG July where people voted on character themes for Final Fantasy. It was like a tournament bracket style. Bill ran that. And now it's September and he finally finished it. So
Nice.
better late than never. And the final match came down to Terra's theme versus Aerith's theme. And Aerith's theme won. So
I think we
good job,
called
Aerith.
that.
Yeah, I think everybody called that it did come down. It was going to come down to either Aerith or Terra. I'm a little surprised that Terra didn't. I kind of expected Terra to win, but I guess Aerith's theme is just so iconic.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, so I meant to have the whole bracket pulled up so we can just comment on it before I got here, but it's fine. It's a predictable thing. I wonder what we'll do next year. And then finally, the last show update, the RPG Club. So for those that don't know, new listeners, this is a segment we do every other week on the show where we in the community play along the same chunk of a game. It's kind of like a book club for an RPG. And then we talk in detail about that segment. So basically an RPG book club.
Yes.
However, we don't have a game right now because we finished the Secret of Mana one a few weeks back. So nominations took place this past week. Our lovely patrons get to nominate games for us to play for the club. And the nominations are basically over, and voting is starting in just a couple hours, actually. I think I scheduled
I'm
it
so
for the end of the
excited.
day. Yeah. We're doing it different this time, though. It's going to be a blind vote where people can't
So I
see.
can't campaign?
Yeah.
Can
Well,
I
mean,
see
you,
at
you can
least?
still campaign, but we're not going to. Yeah, you can see.
Okay,
You
because
just
I'm the
can't,
host. I should be able to see.
Yeah, I asked people to DM us on Patreon, and that way, because I'm just waiting for people to just start yanking my chain about Scott's rigged the vote. So,
I mean, Scott is in charge. He has high integrity. So whoever listens to the show, Scott's not the person you want to worry about.
well,
Just gonna
I
say
think
that.
that's a veiled hint there. Yeah.
Yep. It's
So
me.
here's the nominations that we got: Golden Sun, nominated by Ben C. Star Ocean Second Story, nominated by Bill. Chrono Cross, nominated by Brandokin. Yakuza 0, nominated by my fiance Corey.
Wait, how come he gets to do? Do you have your own and he gets one?
He's a
crap.
patron, so
I know.
rig the vote. No.
Is it?
Saviors of Sapphire Wings, nominated by Disa, which I've never heard of. Have you
Yeah,
heard
that's
that?
I think that's a Switch game.
Hmm.
It's an NIS America game.
I know she was struggling because she said a couple of the other games she had planned on nominating had already been nominated.
Yeah.
So
See, that's the bad part is like we all know what type of games we want to play.
yeah.
And when it comes to these nominations, everybody's like, oh crap, they picked that one. Oh man, they picked up my backup.
Right.
So yeah.
Tales of Vesperia, nominated by Frost, and East 8, nominated by Kabaski. So
Ooh, Yeast game.
yeah. You want to take the rest?
Yeah. Caslow, Breath of Fire 3. Great choice. Lauren, Darkest Dungeon.
I'd never heard
That's
of that
an
until
odd
that was
one.
nominated either.
Yeah. So that's just random. Okay. Way to go, Lauren. Picking something that, most people talk about. It's good.
I think she said it just looked like a cool RPG and it was on PS4, and that was her criteria.
Okay. JS, I am Setsuna. I think I had that one. It's
I've
pretty
beaten
good.
that before,
Okay. Mini BT, Bug Fables.
which is like an
What the hell is
indie
that?
Paper Mario game. I would
Okay.
be down with that.
Rich, so me. Tales of the Abyss. Is this legal? Why is this not legal?
What system is it on?
It's on PS2 and 3DS.
Oh, okay. Wait, is it available any other way though? Because if it's
I think you can even get it on the eShop store for the 3DS.
okay,
It's on GameCube, I think, too.
we'll have to talk about it.
Okay.
Because I don't know if we're counting, if we're still counting 3DS as. legal.
Oh, that's right. Okay. If I have to change that within like 2 minutes, I can do that. I've got an idea. So,
Okay.
hold on. So why don't we do that? While I'm listening off this, pull this up. Pull up 3D Tales of the Abyss platforms just to make sure.
Okay.
And let's see. I'll keep talking here.
All right.
Rob. Is that Rob S?
I guess.
Okay.
I think so.
Final Fantasy 13. That's a pretty good one. That
It keeps
seems to
making
get
it into
nominated.
these rankings
Yeah.
or these DOMs.
Scott, what the hell? Mass Effect 1? Seriously?
Yeah. Why not?
I don't know.
I've never played a Mass Effect game. I've always been interested to get into that series.
Yeah, I don't think I have that legendary one, so or the legendary edition one that's got all three of them. So I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Generic fighter and RPG death metal. We didn't get your nominations, so unfortunately, we do have to keep on schedule. So we're gonna move on with that. Hopefully, next time you'll be able to nominate or at least be able to vote.
Yeah, you can still vote if you so choose.
Yeah,
So
yeah, we would definitely appreciate that. We'd like to hear feedback from them. So, yeah. All right, Scott, did you find anything?
it is only on PlayStation 2 and Nintendo 3DS.
This is on the
So,
eShop.
uh, let's see. eShop. It's categorized under 3DS eShop games.
Yeah,
Maybe I can look at it on the eShop right now.
yeah, because if we need to change that, I can change that real fast.
Well, I mean, we got to. Do we make a call? Are 3DS games still legal or no? Well, here's the thing: if people don't want to play a 3DS game, then it just won't get the votes.
That's true.
How about that?
That's true. But just in case if it does, we want to make sure that it has accessible to people to be able to play it. So if it's on the eShop, because the eShop is still going, people could still, get it if they want to do this thing legally. So, but if not, then we have to change it.
It's not coming up when I search on the eShop.
And it's
but
probably not on there.
it, surely maybe it's just like a different. Can you even access the 3DS eShop anymore?
Yeah, you can. I got it on my 3DS. I'd have to pull it up. I don't have it with me right now. But okay, you know what? Let's just call an audible real fast on it
Okay.
and fix it real quick. I'll just do live on air.
We'll edit a bunch of this out when we get there.
Oh, I thought we keep it.
Whatever.
Let's see. There.
What'd you write? I'm editing
Star
the Patreon
Ocean.
post.
Star Ocean, The Last Hope.
Oh, so now we got two Tales games. Well, not anymore. Instead of two Tales games, we get two Star Ocean games.
Yes.
Let me type that into the Patreon post. Shit.
We just want to keep it fair. The Star Ocean Last Hope, that's got a wide range to access and play. So
What is it on?
it's on PlayStation. It's on Xbox 360, PlayStation Network, Steam.
Okay, sounds good to me.
And yeah, I think it's widely usable.
All right. But yeah, those are the games that have been nominated, and voting will go on all throughout this week. It will already be well on its way by the time regular listeners hear this, and that will conclude a week from today as of this recording, which will be Sunday, September 26th. So I'm excited to see what gets picked. We got a nice smorgasbord of games here.
Yeah, and I will be resuming my campaign for my game, so I can at least get a win at some point. I swear to God, Scott, if you win again, I'm going to be mad.
I didn't win last time, did I? What was? I didn't nominate Secret of Mana.
Oh, okay. I thought you did.
I did vote for it, I think, but.
All right, that's fine.
All right. So you ready to get on to the news?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Hear ye, gather round for all your news. Stop your clatter and listen close. Alas, you won't believe your ears. Listen close for the news.
All right. So we did have a PlayStation showcase a couple of weeks ago now because we had to do the review last week. But it gave us quite a honking load of pretty cool RPG news. So I'm excited to talk about some of this stuff. And Rich is going to kick us off.
Yeah, so let's talk about this one right off the bat, which is Star Wars Knights of the Republic, or Knights of the Old Republic remake is Legendary Tale remade on PlayStation 5. So if you have a PlayStation 5, select few, you have a new Star Wars game. Yeah, all four of you guys. The Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, that wasn't that a 360 game or?
I feel like it might be even older than that.
Yeah, I think I just don't know much about it. I really don't. I don't know much about the Star Wars games, but I do know this one here is a very well-loved game. It is something that has been basically built with the ground up. So basically they took what was already there and rebuilt it to completely be this huge, polished looking game. So heads up, this one might be a good one.
it was more of a teaser trailer. We didn't really get any footage or anything.
Yeah.
Just like a cutscene of somebody with a red lightsaber. I too have never played Knights of the Old Republic, but I know it is one you hear about all the time. Um,
I didn't realize it was 20 years old since it was made.
Yeah, I wish I knew which system it was originally. I'm gonna look it up. Knights of the Old Republic. Looking up everything today.
Yes. We're on the fly, guys. That's how
Yeah.
news is done.
But I know people are excited about this. I think there had been rumors or rumblings about this before it was announced formally here. But where's the Wikipedia page for this shit? Usually
it's
Wikipedia's
supposed to
like
be
this.
huge.
There we go. Okay, Knights of the Old Republic was originally on Windows, the original Xbox, Mac OS, iOS. How did it get on mobile? That's weird. Android and Linux. So I guess it was an Xbox game. So like the big honking green giant Xbox.
Dang.
But yeah, I know a lot of people are really hyped for this, and hopefully it lives up to the old game. It's just Rich and I have never played it, so we can't say a lot about it.
Yeah, I thought it was for some reason I thought it was an MMORPG, but I guess I was wrong.
I don't think so. I do wish we did know something about it though, so I could say or I understand why this game is so beloved.
Yeah. So if you're out there in our community and you've played this game, let us know.
Yep. Okay. But for now, we'll move on to the next story.
Yes.
Okay, so this was a brand new IP that was revealed, Project Eve. So at first when the trailer came up, I thought I was watching like a Bayonetta game because the leading protagonist is like this kick-ass lady in leather, and it kind of looked like her hair was flying all over the place, and maybe kind of like Bayonetta's does. And then I got confused because I was like, wait, this is a PlayStation show, and Nintendo's kind of got a firm grasp on Bayonetta now. So, but it's like cybernetic. It kind of looked very futuristic with the kind of similar to Astral Chain. It kind of reminded me of like a baby between Astral Chain and Bayonetta. Did you watch the trailer?
No, I didn't, but I've seen screenshots of this character you're talking about. So
it looks really badass. So it's got like an action RPG style combat system, very fluid. You can like run up walls and slide around and swing on ropes. Parry stuff. There's like a super armor system and bullets and all kinds of costumes. It looks like a really robust game, and the graphics are stunning. It's going to be coming to PC, PS4, PS5, and Xbox Series X/S. And I do have one major complaint about this game, though. So, obviously, it's called Project Eve. The main character's name is Eve. And so during the trailer, I heard a character call the monsters parasitics. And then shortly after that, I heard somebody call the main character Eve.
Oh, no.
And so I was like, is this a fucking Parasite Eve game? I was like, are you kidding me? And then, so I felt, hugely cock-teased from that. If that trailer had ended, though, with, like, Aya Bria walking in from off-screen and, like, taking off a helmet or something and it's Aya, I would have been like, I just want to fall out of my chair. And
it's not going to happen, Scott. Stop trying to make Parasite Eve happen.
I want it to, though.
I know.
I know Angry Ass Black Dude said on Twitter that he thinks this is how JRPGs should be, and that this is what they all should have been aiming for all this time. I think he's been pretty, what's the word? Not shaded, forlorn. I don't know. He's not like the way that JRPGs have gone in recent generations. So I know that he's excited for this one.
That's good.
And I think it could turn out to be a really cool game. So we will keep an eye on that one for sure.
All right. So the next one is something from our beloved Square Enix. New Forspoken trailer launches. So this is interesting. I don't know too much about it. We don't know the stories. It looks really good.
But this is the project, what the game Project Athia became.
Yeah. So you see Frey, who's the main character, and I mean it's huge. It looks open world. I mean, it looks amazing. Athia is the name of the land,
Yes,
by the
which
way.
I don't think
So
I
that's
knew before
I didn't
this
either.
trailer. Yeah.
I had no idea. But I'm looking at it, and it's saying, there's no weapons. It's all energy based. It's magic ability, so it's kind of nice. There's not really much to go off of besides just the way it looks. Um,
When I was watching the trailer, I got this very, for better or for worse, this very FF15 feel to the combat, which, makes sense considering it's the same engine and the same team.
Correct.
Like with all the magic that was flying around, that reminded me of the particles and shit from the magic in 15. So hopefully the magic works a lot better in this. But one thing I was surprised by is apparently the main character, Frey, is from the real world. Like lives in New York City and gets pulled into this land of Athia, which is an interesting. I didn't expect the story to go that way, I guess. We got to see a lot more of Frey's personality. She's like skating along roofs and saying like, "Cool, I can do magic," or "I'm a wizard." Like that was one thing that kind of turned me off watching this trailer. Is I wasn't crazy about the dialogue. It felt very, I don't know, like MCU-ish. Which
You hush your mouth.
it's not a bad thing. It's just not what I was expecting from this game. I was expecting like this ancient legendary tale and of epicness and stuff, which it's just different than what I thought.
Well, I mean, think of it this way. It's kind of cool to see like imagine this. So imagine you are just you, Scott, the Scott spot.
It's hard to
And all of a
imagine.
sudden you get pulled into a portal and get thrown into, let's say, a Final Fantasy world. And you have to do all that stuff. So that's kind of a cool take to it, taking somebody from the real world, throwing him in this mystical area of either Final Fantasy or whatever, and you try and survive. And with having abilities and things like that. That's kind of a cool, neat concept, in my opinion.
Well, if you think about it, that's the plot of Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced. So there's the characters are in the real world and they get pulled into Evil East. So
I didn't know that.
yeah,
I never played it. So
apparently it's pretty good. Brandon, one of our listeners and friend of mine, said recently that he just finished the third Tactics A2, and of the three, he liked Tactics Advanced one the best. So that's a total aside.
we have to try that.
I'm still really interested in Forspoken. I think it still has a high chance of being a badass game. I just think we need to keep it. It's very precarious. I think it could also end up being just kind of a whatever game if they're not careful.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm excited for it still, though. Okay, another game that was shown off. At first, I wasn't paying too much attention because it looked like maybe a little indie game. It's called Chia, and you play as this little islander girl. And it showed off like some good like guitar mini game at the start of the trailer, and I was like, "Oh, this reminds me of The Last of Us Part 2." And then it slowly builds up. You learn that she has the power to like transport her soul into other animals, and so you can control seagulls and fish and other things. It's been a minute since I watched the trailer now. Takes place on an island. It's got very bright visuals, and it looks like there's a story to it too, because there was some cutscenes showing like how she has to go on this epic adventure. It kind of reminded me of like budget Wind Waker almost, which, as a lot of people know, Wind Waker is one of my favorite games ever. It's my favorite Zelda game for sure. Did you look at this at all?
I did not. I have no idea about this one.
It does look like it may end up being not great. I'm not sure, but at the same time, I think it also has the potential to be like really charming. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on it. I think it might be something I would enjoy at the end of the day. But yeah, so since we're not doing the main discussion segment this episode, we've got a lot more, even more exciting RPG news coming up here. We're going to take a second to get a quick break in now. How we doing?
I'm doing good.
Okay. Need a break or anything?
Nah, I should be all right.
All right.
I'll tell you what, though, the lighting is making my shoulders pop.
You looking good, Rich.
I'm getting some rip definedness.
Let's not get too into ourselves here. You're starting to sound like me.
Listen here. You could have shoulders like me if you do these things. I'm just kidding. It's like one of those infomercials, like you could have a body like me if you drink this thing.
Yeah. Actually, I had to do progress photos for like the first time since November recently. or last weekend actually, and I was just like, look at all the fat I've gained, which it
Yeah.
hasn't been that much, but
It's like, where? Show me the fat.
um, but luckily I think I have a little bit more muscle, so there's at
That's
least
good.
that. Yeah,
I have to do progress photos every Wednesday. So
every Wednesday. Ooh,
yeah.
Well, I guess you're doing the super high tech professional shit. So
Yeah.
all right, should we get back to it?
Let's do this.
All right, we're back, and we'll let Rich take this next one.
All right. So this was a weird surprise, to be honest. So Marvel's Wolverine was revealed, and it's being developed by Insomniac Games for PS5. So as you guys know, Insomniac has done the amazing work on the Spider-Man games. Spider-Man 1, and Marvel Spider-Man, and then Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. So
For more info on those games, you can check out Rich and I's reviews.
exactly. Those were some fantastic stuff. So basically, you just see the reveal trailer of Logan. He's sitting at a bar, and somebody walks up and he pulls out his claws. So if it's anything like the Spider-Man games, it's going to be good. So
Yeah.
I'm
This
excited.
was definitely a surprise. Did you actually see the trailer, or like
I did. I just watched it a little bit again.
What was your initial reaction?
I was
You
a little
learned about it?
concerned at first. I was like, what is this? Is this like going to be a DLC or something? And then it pops up Marvel's Wolverine. If you've ever played a Wolverine game before, they're not the best. So I'm curious how they're going to do this one, because they did a really good job with the Spider-Man games, because the Spider-Man games were not the best either until Insomniac shows up. So
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. There's no release date yet. So we're all thinking it's going to be in 2022, but there's no confirmed date or anything.
yeah, it was definitely a surprise. Just because usually when they make big budget, or not budget, big AAA Marvel titles these days, they try to stick to more of the MCU stuff, which, as we know, the X-Men have not yet been introduced into the MCU, although we're all hoping that'll be soon.
I
All
think
this
so.
multiverse shit flying around. Actually, I think there was a rumor recently that what's the guy that plays Professor X in the newer ones? James McAvoy, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. I know there's rumors that he's going to be in a MCU movie soon, and maybe a couple other characters from that side, which is interesting. I would rather them just start fresh with the X-Men. Not that
Yeah, but
they-
I do like James McAvoy though.
Yeah, yeah. But here's my thing. I've never been a big fan of Wolverine as a character. He's the face of I love the X-Men, and he's kind of the face of the X-Men brand. But I've always liked a lot of the other characters a lot more. I will say Logan, the movie, is a fantastic movie. Maybe the best superhero movie ever made. But I'm not a big fan of Wolverine. So I'm hoping there'll be a lot more X-Men characters in this game.
Well, it even says right here sometimes it's wants to deliver an emotional narrative and cutting edge gameplay. So
Cutting edge with the claws.
a little pun there. And I was
yeah.
wrong, by the way. It's 2023 release window,
Oh,
not
Jesus.
2022. So,
We got a
but they even said
while.
it's very early.
Okay.
But this is why. Okay, I like that we've got notification that this game is coming. I don't like it when they do this though. It's like, okay, this game is going to be released, but in 2 years from now, it's very early development. Like, why? Wait till you're like, okay, we had 6 months, and then the game comes out. Because guess what? This is what happens, and every time we talk the discussion about this, it comes out. Oh, sorry, we have to delay this by a month. We have to delay this by 6 months. We have to delay it again. So
Yeah.
stop it.
Well, hopefully they stick to that. Frost says Wolverine blasphemy in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of fans of them. I'm not a huge one of them. Give me a Storm game or I'd rather have I think a Jubilee game would be more interesting.
I like Jubilee into the sense that her powers are kind of just like, hey, 4th of July, boom.
Yeah.
That's it.
It also makes me wonder how this game's going to play, because it's so fun in Spider-Man, just the traversal and all that.
Yeah.
Wolverine can't swing between buildings, so
He
is it
needs a
just going to be a lot
motorcycle.
more combat focused or what?
Or we could have a motorcycle.
I guess. um, I go where I want to go.
That's
Bub.
right. But that's really it about the Wolverine game. I mean, they didn't really do too much.
Despite everything I just said, I am excited to see more of this game. Hopefully, it lives up to the Spider-Man games too. But speaking of, right after that, they revealed the first trailer, like for Marvel's Spider-Man 2,
Yeah.
and it looked beautiful and gorgeous, of course. And it kind of seemed like the highlights of it were it looked like Peter and Miles were kind of working together. It's confirmed that you'll be able to play as both Spider-Men. um, I think it showed Miles using like the octopus arm spider arm suit, that you know what I'm talking about.
Hmm.
Some other cool powers. Some looks like the Venom powers have been upgraded, but the highlight, of course, was the end. Is you hear like this ominous voice coming from an alleyway, and out of the darkness steps Venom. So I'm really
I'm so
excited.
excited for that. It's probably going to be Harry Osborn though. So
Maybe. Or it could be the Green Goblin. I don't know. It's going to be really interesting seeing what I mean, we've talked about it before on those Spider-Man reviews, like what's going to happen next. Um, and I think I was kind of expecting Venom to be in this game, since they never gave Spider-Man the symbiote suit as one of the costumes, and that's like his second most iconic outfit, I would say. Um, but yeah, I'm really excited. We didn't get to see a bunch, but I'm a big Venom fan. Uh, Maybe not the movies, but the character. And it's just gonna be cool seeing where they take it. I think I saw some people speculating that Venom might be playable too. I don't know where they got that idea
yeah,
from.
I don't think he'd be playable.
I wouldn't think so either. So it's gonna be interesting. It's just gonna be like a party switching thing. Like, can you live switch between Peter and Miles anytime, or is it gonna be scripted, or I don't know. And then of course, they confirmed at the end it's gonna be a 2022 release.
I think so. Yeah.
Let me double check that, because I remember when they showed the release date, it might be 2023. I was like, that's so far.
That's not going to be good. That's all the games we're going to have in 2023.
Yeah.
2022 is going to be barren.
Yeah. Well, here it says, while it hasn't been confirmed, Venom also appears to be a playable character, backed up by the fact that it's Harry Osborn who is linked with Venom this time around. Are they speculating, or do they know that?
I think they're speculating. I think what's going to happen is Harry Osborn's going to have that Venom stuff on him, and it's going to jump off and go find Eddie Brock.
Maybe. It could happen. Oh, that might be a good idea. I'm searching like release. 2023 release window. Sad. So far from now.
By then, people have a PS5.
I wouldn't count that.
Yeah, I know exactly.
I think I saw an article just a couple weeks ago that there's some new part that's going to have a shortage for the next year or so. So
awesome.
Yeah, great. Regardless, I will be thinking about this a lot. But for now, let's move on.
So we got our first look at God of War Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
Yeah, I can't say words. Ragnarok. So if you played the first one of God of War, the 2018 version, you're going to feel right at home with this one. But the story is you're going to be facing off against Freya and Thor.
Yeah.
And you'll have access to go to all the 9 realms and try to figure out what's going on with Ragnarok and how to avoid it. I have not played
the first. Oh, you haven't?
No, I have not. It's on my list. I need to.
Okay.
Because I know you and Jay played it, and it's a phenomenal game. It's right up there. But yeah, I don't know much about it. Besides that, you're going to be suffering loss of his sons and half brother. Thor's legendary bloodlust is coming after Kratos. So it just seems to be the same thing, that Kratos is killing gods.
Well, I won't.
So again, God of War.
I'll try to talk about this without spoiling anything then, since you haven't played the first one. But I'm excited about all this stuff. It looks like some of the plot threads from the first one are being continued, as far as Freya and Thor and all that. Although this is our first full look at Thor, and a lot of people were surprised by Thor's character design. He's filled out.
Yeah, but that's okay though. I like the design of Thor.
It's interesting. When I first was seeing the character art with the memes and stuff, I thought it was a joke. I didn't realize that was real.
See, the way I look at it is this way. Thor is. It doesn't matter. It's not Chris Hemsworth Thor. You gotta get past that. It's not dreamy.
It's Chris Hemsworth Thor from Endgame.
Yeah, basically, but with like some more grit to him. So, I like the design of him. I just plus but I also know like big people, like big strongmen and powerlifters are huge. That's just normal to me. I was like, okay, so he's that type of person.
Oh, he's still gonna kick Kratos' ass up and down the street a few times.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I think so. Throw a hammer at him.
Yeah, and another thing, Atreus, better known as Boy, he's a little older now. He's mouthing off a little more, so I'm sure that's going to be annoying.
Yeah,
he seemed like he was not happy with Kratos during a couple of the scenes in this trailer. Overall, though, I think it looks good. I mean, it looks very similar to the first one as far as the gameplay and the graphics and all. Well, the graphics look a lot better, but I'm very interested. I was one of the weird ones that, although I recognize that the first God of War was a really good game, I didn't like it as much as I thought I was going to. The story was interesting enough that I definitely want to see where it goes in this sequel. But yeah, I think a lot of us should be really excited for this. I guess we're just adding on to the pile of games that you need to play, Rich.
Awesome. That list is long.
You could probably get through God of War pretty quick if you so chose to. It's not a super long game if you don't hunt down side quests and shit.
Oh, I don't do that, so you're fine.
All right, this one is interesting. So, Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt has been revealed. Now, I know that Vampire the Masquerade is like a long-running series that's kind of like a dark horse. Like, you don't hear about it a lot, but I know it has a really like strong fan base.
I have no idea.
So I can't really say too much about this, but it looked like it gave you the ability to choose between a bunch of different tribes, like Nosferatu and Wolfmen, and then of course vampires. But I don't know. I wasn't really doing it for me when I watched the trailer, but that could just be because I'm not familiar with the series.
You don't like vampires? Are you not one of those vampire Twilight people?
Well, you don't see me sparkling right now, do you?
No, I don't. But that doesn't mean anything. You're not in direct sunlight.
I guess that's true. So that's coming to PlayStation 5 in 2021? I didn't realize it was that soon. I guess it did look like it was pretty far along development.
Yeah, but I wouldn't trust it, to be honest. This day and age, I don't trust like hard release dates until it actually is in my hand.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think it's coming to some other systems too. Let me look here. Oh, hang on. It's not going to say that because this link goes to the PlayStation blog announcement.
Ooh.
But I think it's probably coming to PC as well. But yeah, I don't really have too much else to say about that. But that does conclude like all the RPG related stuff, at least that I could remember, that was shown during the PlayStation Showcase. So overall,
yeah, I didn't see too much.
I thought it was a really good showing from Sony. Of course, a lot of these bigger announcements are a ways off, unfortunately. But I was confused. It's like, why didn't they make this a full PlayStation State of Play? It was strong enough to be one.
Well, I think the reason why we don't have much on this showcase and stuff like that, because COVID really did push a lot of those development stuff back. So we're probably going to see a lot of these games come out in 2023. 2022 might be a pretty bleak AAA title release stuff. Just maybe.
Well, at least we'll get a Forbidden West, right? That's in 2022. Horizon.
Yes. Maybe we'll get information about 16 at that point, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that one.
When's TGS? I have a feeling we're going to see 16 there.
Isn't it like a month or so?
I feel like it is.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get some announcements. And of course, I know the latter quarter of this year is stacked up with a bunch of releases as well.
Yeah, you get your normal Madden, Call of Duty, Battlefield supposed to be coming out, which I'm kind of excited about that one. But a lot of your big AAA shooters and sports games come out at the end of the year.
That's
generally
true. I know Nintendo's got a couple games. Let's see, TGS 2021. That's Thursday, September 30th, and ends on October 3rd. So we should be here in a couple weeks. We'll have a good news segment, I hope.
Nice,
because they already announced that they're going to be showing a bunch of other stuff. We talked about it last time we did news, like Stranger of Paradise, which we're all excited for.
Oh man, yeah, sure.
Yeah. But anyway, we got one more article not related to the showcase. You want to take it?
Yes. So this is awesome. Tales of Arise has surpassed 1 million shipments in digital sales. Put that in perspective, Berseria is at 2 million and Vesperia is at 2.88 million. So with that being said, Arise is going to be probably one of its top tier games. And there's a lot of people out there that saying this game is better than most. I just saw something from our old host Jay that said it's probably one of the better games he's played in a while.
And he's a big fan of the Tales games.
Yeah. He also made a comment that he hasn't played many games, so he doesn't have really much to reference to, but it's one of his top favorite ones for the last, for a while. So that says something that this community really likes these Tale games. So, and there's even been talks from some of the producers and stuff to bring the older games to current consoles.
Gotcha.
So that'd be nice.
Yeah, that would be really cool because we were just talking about Tales of the Abyss, right?
Yeah.
So
there is one Tales game that I think is probably one of the best ones, but it's like stupid expensive to buy now. And sadly enough, I've had one in my hands because a buddy had it, and whatever.
Is it Symphonia?
No, it's actually Tales of Destiny.
Oh, okay.
That's a great game.
I know when Tales of Symphonia came out, that was when I first started hearing about Tales a lot more.
Yes.
I know the main character of that has like a costume for the Mii's in Smash Bros. So I think this is really impressive sales numbers for a Tales game. I mean, right out the gate, 1 million copies sold or whatever, especially when you compare it to how long Berseria and Vesperia have been out in comparison. So I think I might end up playing this, Rich. Even if it's not for the club, which I was a little disappointed by because I thought people were I thought somebody said they were gonna nominate it for the club.
I think they were joking about it, but then I don't know. I mean, maybe I should have done it, but
would have had my vote because I think Corey watched a trailer for Arise as well, and he said he wanted to play it. So,
I mean, I could change it. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, so good job for who makes the Tales games? Terrible RPG host.
It's actually, I think it's Bandai Namco.
Oh, okay.
I think it's theirs.
Well, good for them.
Yeah.
So hopefully this will mean like this series will continue to get stronger and stronger support. So
I hope so. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about the RPGs released in the last week. So let's kind of get into it. Game Deck, which is a PC exclusive game, September 16th. I have no idea what this is. Eastward, Switch and PC, September 16th. And I've seen some people talk about this one. Nexamon, which is PS5, PlayStation 4, Xbox S, Xbox One, Switch, September 17th, which is...
talked about that before, the Pokemon knockoff.
Yes, it's the clone of Pokemon that apparently Nintendo has let go, which is weird. Trails of Iron, PS5, PS4, Xbox S, Xbox One, Switch, PC, September 17th. I don't know anything about this one. Do you know anything about this?
It's a Trails game?
No, it's. I think it's not a Trails game. It's a Tales of Iron.
Do you think they did that on purpose? It's tails, like as in the tail an animal has on its butt, not tail like a story.
Probably some fox or something.
They're just trying to like mooch off the tails of hype. So
yes. And the last one is Ni no Kuno 2 Revenant Kingdom, which is Prince Edition, which is on the Switch, September 17th. I picked it up. Launched it.
Have you played any of it yet?
Nope. Because I still want to play Ni no Kuno. And that will be my next game that I nominate for the next club.
I've heard that a lot of people like the first Ni no Kuni better, but that both are good games. I saw some screenshots or something from this Ni no Kuni 2, and it really does look like a Ghibli movie. And so if the whole game looks like that, that is definitely something I would like to play at some point as well.
It is. I mean, that's what it looks like.
Awesome. Well, we'll have to look into it. As far as RPGs releasing this coming week, we got a kind of a lengthy list here. So on September 24th, we're getting Dragon Ball Z Kakarot plus a new Power Awakens set on Switch. So I'm guessing that's like a release of that game on Switch with all the DLC and stuff.
Yes.
Are you a Dragon Ball fan?
Nope.
Okay. We'll move on then. Lost Judgment, the Yakuza spinoff, is coming to PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, and Xbox One also on September 24th. I know a lot of the Yakuza fans are hyped for that. I'm hoping that I get to play Yakuza 0 soon, so everybody vote for that.
Nope.
New World coming to PC on September 28th. Don't know what that is. Chernobylite, PS4 and Xbox One, September 28th. Dragon Quest, The Adventure of Dai, A Hero's Bonds, coming to mobile, also September 28th. I don't know what that is either.
Nope.
I thought we already got a Dragon Quest mobile game just recently.
I think it was something different though. This one, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it's mobile. Who cares? Astria Ascending, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. September 30th as well. We got, okay, everything else is on September 30th. Nobody talked to each other when they were deciding when to release the games. Rogue Lords is coming to PC. Darksiders 3 coming to Switch.
Yes.
Sean Wan Sword 7 coming to PS4 and Xbox One. I'm sure I mispronounced that. However, I remember that the Kung Fu style in Live Alive was called like Sean Wan or something like that. So I wonder if that's an actual thing. Must be. Unsighted coming to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Death's Gambit Afterlife coming to Switch and PC. Mary Skelter Finale coming to PS4 and Switch in North America. It's one day later for Europe on October 1st.
Yeah, you Europe people get it last.
Haha. So with however, out of all of that, like I don't really recognize or know about most of those games. So despite the quantity, don't know about the quality here. I'm sure Lost Judgment will be good though.
Well, I know Darksiders 3, like I'm gonna pick that up. Astra Ascending, I kind of remember seeing a glimpse of that, and I'm kind of curious. That might be something I pick up. But other than that, there's not really much.
Okay. Well, that brings us to the end of our news, and we knew that would take us a while to get through that. So, and we don't have an RPG club going on, so that's all we're doing today. So let's go into our outro. Okay, that's it, everybody. It was a good show from Sony. We enjoyed it, but we'll have to move on. As for next week, what are we doing, Rich?
We are actually going to review the RPG Club game Secret of Mana, which I'm working on the document right now. I'm excited to review this one, to see what our really thoughts are about this one, how it held up through the years. It's supposed to be one of the best RPGs of all times. It's supposed to be. But yeah, I'm excited to talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see where it lands on our rankings, because I think we both ended up not loving it, but also not hating it. So
yeah.
As far as the RPG Club, again, voting is opening up in just an hour. When you're listening to this, it will be live. So if you want to join, it's not too late. You can become a patron and vote now. It's too late for noms, but so again, that's going to close on Sunday, September 26th. So get your votes in by then. Plugs. You can rate and review the show. It helps us out a lot. Give us a 5-star review on iTunes or whatever podcasting service you prefer. And speaking of the Patreon.
Yes, Patreon has a lot of great stuff on there. Patreon has early episode access, ad-free episodes. You don't have to listen to the ads when we have them. You get access to the Aftercast, which is where me and Scott talk about different subjects within the video game world that we don't talk about during the show. Extra reviews. If you go out there, you can see Corey and Scott talk about all sorts of different games. Mario games, Donkey Kong. They're just Resident Evil stuff.
There's over 20 out there now.
Yes. A lot of backlog. You also could talk about my stuff, which I have the side quests, Rich's side quests, that I need to post something out there. That's where I just talk randomly about things. RPG Club. That's the biggest segment that we have with the show now, is the RPG Club, where you nominate a game, we vote on it, and then we play. We read it like a book club, and plus many, many more. You can find that at patreon.com/RPG After Years.
We would much appreciate it. We love our patrons. You can join the episodes live. This is open to everybody on Twitch. When it's usually Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern time. You can find me and Rich over here. Sometimes it's at Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern if I'm with Bill for a Golden Years review or whatever the hell he's doing these days. You can find us at twitch.tv/RPG After Years. And again, I'll be streaming on my own personal channel shortly after this FF2 Solo Rebirth. That's twitch.tv/the Scott Spot with underscores between the words.
Nice. So if you want to support the show even more, you can also find our merch on Redbubble at redbubble.com/people/RPG after years/explore. You can see some cool stuff that we have with the RPG logos on them.
Show your RPG love.
Yes.
For business inquiries, or if you just want to make some suggestions or give us some feedback, whatever, you can email us rpgafteryears@gmail.com.
The Discord. We do tweet that out quite a bit to the Twitter community to come talk to us. That is where our community is growing. It's thriving. It's hopping with people out there to talk about all sorts of RPGs, different series, whatever fancies you. Come join us.
Yep. And one more way to reach out to us, we are on Twitter. You can find the show at RPG Years. If you want to reach out to me personally, I'm at the Scott Spot.
You can find me at HailBlue1569.
And that's going to be it for episode 80. Sony has given us a lot to be excited about in the coming months and years and what feels like decades. But for now, we need to take one last look back at the classic Secret of Mana next week. Until then, I'm Scott.
And I'm Rich.
Bye-bye.
Bye.